Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky. And real quick, before we start this video, I just want to give you a fair warning. Something happened in the recording process that messed up my audio in particular, didn't mess up anybody else's audio. So you're going to hear this weird reverb or whatever you want to call it effect on my voice. I do apologize for that. It is pretty much in the entire episode. So if for some reason you don't want to listen to this one, we totally understand. I still do podcasting 4 other days a week, and then we also do the weekend talk over on our podcast channel if you want to check that out. But anyway, guys, let's get straight into the video. Dude, I was actually gonna cancel this because I wanted to go see Castle in the Sky, but I was like, I'll probably come out at next year.
Bro, you
They're
don't
showing
want to
it.
see
They're
Castle in the
showing it
Sky.
in theaters. I don't want to give Studio Ghibli another chance.
Hey, welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny. Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you,
Die.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
And I am this Michael.
I'm a Johnny.
And we make up Anime Casuals. Welcome back to the casual discussion. If you haven't been here before, there's not really much to explain here. We talk about something very casually. And today's topic is that time I got reincarnated as a slime and did some stuff. That is the title of the entire anime, and you don't need to fact check me on that.
Nope.
So we're gonna be specifically talking about like the second season, specifically like the second half, but we can bring up some other stuff if you guys want to. If we want to talk about it as a whole, that's fine. But we should probably, just preface this. We're going to be talking about a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't watched the second half of Slime, I'm just going to call it Slime from now on. You should definitely go check that out. It is a great anime. We'll get into it in a little bit, but definitely worth the watch. So first off, gentlemen, what did you guys think about? Why don't we start at like the build up, because there was a series of maybe like 5 to 6, it could have even been 7, but I don't think so. I think it was around 7 or 8 that it started picking up, that there was a lot of disposition or exposition, I don't remember exactly how you say it, where people were just talking about what was going to happen. We were introduced to this idea of Walpurgis or Walpurgis, where all the demon kings are gather to talk about things and talk about like the future of things, as well as get their grievances over with. Rimuru is Demon King, and they end up just talking for the first 5 to 6 episodes. Did you guys find that as boring as some people did? I was reading the subreddit, the anime subreddit, and a lot of people were very displeased, disheartened. Were wondering when it was going to end, all that kind of stuff. So, what did you guys think about the first half of it?
I was about to say, it's the longest business meeting you've ever been a part of. Like, it was like a 4-episode business meeting where they had a meeting in 3 different locations or something. They were like, first we're in the room, now we're in the outside area, now we're over here, and then it was like, and now there's Walpurgis. It was a bunch of meetings that led into a meeting.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I actually did enjoy it. Like, I Slime has always been funny to me, and because we were watching it dubbed, that it wasn't as big of a deal for me, but I generally enjoyed the whole thing. I don't know.
I mean, if anything, I just didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. A part of me is like, I do get that it's kind of important to establish now these, what do I call it? This just unisons of, countries and kingdoms and stuff. And I get that had to happen. And I feel like they kind of went through it as quickly as they could while still giving it the appropriate amount of, I guess, time. But it ended up being a lot. Yeah.
Here's why I appreciated it. Dude, who the hell are some of these people? I don't remember like the little fairy lady. I remember like the episodes that she was in, and then like we watched season 2. I'm like, who the hell is this? Like, I don't remember who this is or where she's from or anything like this, and then like little trickles at the back of my brain where they're like, oh yeah, she's from the Great Labyrinth and stuff. I'm like, all right, like they went there, they saw a bunch of fairies, but then I'm like, all these meetings really help cement in where Rimuru met these people and how important they were to Rimuru. But I really wish that Slime had done what like My Hero does at the beginning of every one of their seasons, is just a refresh of every character. But I guess there's too many characters to really do that with. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think you can't necessarily categorize them into like, here's this person and here's their quirk.
Yeah.
It's just not as easy.
Well, I mean, I would hope it would be like this is this person. And why are they important?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I thought if anything, part 1 of season 2 was uh it's not that it was better, it was like the stakes were like dramatically raised, and then this one the stakes were like were big, but it didn't go from like 0 to 100. It went from like 100 to 130, you know? So it wasn't, it just didn't seem like, from that point of view, I could definitely see where people were like, you know, because obviously we have some things in here. So if we go a little bit past that, obviously we got to meet a couple of other people. I think it was what is her name, Erin, I think is her name. Apparently we figured out that she's the princess of the elves. I don't remember exactly if that's her name, but she's like a princess of the elves, and we meet her father. We already knew King Dwargon, the king of the dwarves, and all that stuff. It was
we
cool.
meet the beast people.
Yeah, the beast people.
That was cool.
And then yeah, it's cool to kind of see everything kind of come together. Like you guys were saying, I didn't really find it that boring. But I was really like waiting to get into some stuff. Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, exactly. Like I feel like all of us shared the same sentiment where we're like, this is not a super boring meeting. Like it's still lively because I mean, like the way Rimuru talks is just interesting. Like I don't think Rimuru could talk, and I would be bored by it. And even the rest of them, like the little banter that they had between each other, and like the funny parts. I forgot his name, but the guy who basically was thrust into being a king, he was just like, "Hey, you're gonna be king now," and he's like, "What? Me?" And then he's like, and everybody was giving him shit and stuff, and it was really funny. But like that was all just a meeting, but like the weight of the meetings were super important. Like it was to decide the fate of these countries and like how they interact with each other, and even like the little small banter that Rimuru had with I don't remember who it was, but it was like the magic guy who was like, you know, crap on this slime, like I hate this guy, but he was really kind of setting himself up, where he was like dishing out some deals about the roads like between them. Yeah. Like he's like, okay, I'll build the road for you. Okay, cool. But that means I get this. And he's like, okay, well, that means I also get to build like stores and stuff across the road. And it was really fun to watch like the little banter and the diplomacy between the people.
You know, that's actually kind of like I don't know if either, I know at least one of you has watched Realist Hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it feels the same way almost. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's just this weird like, this is vaguely interesting. Yeah, infrastructure. All right, nice. Economics. So, it's just fun to watch, I guess, and I don't really know why. I can't explain it.
Yeah. Did you have any misgivings as like the meetings were going on and like the background and the armies like started to fight? Like I think that was lightly in between some of the meetings. It's like Rimuru was like starting to send out people to do his bidding.
Yeah.
Did you guys think he would lose at all?
No, I had a feeling this was like they built all that up so that they could eventually start going into like win territory, because they had like a pretty big L in the first part of the part of the first part of season 2. That is so hard to say. But you know, there was some pretty big L's there. So I felt like this was kind of like, hey, we're going in hard and we're gonna like make our presence known. So I had a feeling there was going to be some pretty cool stuff. What did you guys think about everybody's? Because we didn't get to see everybody's power up like right away. I mean, everybody has like new powers because of Rimuru's demon lord status. What do you, okay, first off, I mean, the fact that Shion can now make any food taste good, but it still looks like shit. I mean, would you still eat that cooking? Because it looked
No.
abhorrent. It was terrible.
No, boo, dude. Sight is part of eating, and like all of them were like, "Oh, it tastes pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna tell yourself that as you're sitting on the toilet for 2 hours after that." Like, at least Rimuru's a slime; you can just absorb it. But like everybody else, I'm like, no, Shion, no. Learn how to make food look edible as well.
I'd do it. Yeah,
Johnny
if
just
she
wants
could
to
do
see the
that,
big
that'd be
boobas.
crazy. No, that's just a plus. It's 2 pluses actually. But if she could make food like that, even if it looked disgusting, it would be like the first hurdle. The first time would be the one hurdle. It'd be like, you're not lying to me. And so then I would, if I tried it and it was good, okay, I would just never look at it ever again.
Yeah, I feel like you are trying to go for them tit days, but I also respect it. So
He's like, oh, I spilled.
Oh man! Whoops! But obviously everybody did
I'll
have.
still eat it.
Yeah, exactly right. Everybody did have like some pretty big increases, but it was. I mean, like we were talking about, right? Like we're about to get out of this in a second, but yeah, all of the buildup I feel like was very necessary because of all this buildup, we're getting ready for the last part of this, which I gotta admit they did a pretty good job at jam packing everything in. I don't know, I don't think it felt too rushed, but what did you guys think of when everybody started actually fighting? We had like Benimaru commanding a squad that was going up against what is the girl's name? Milium's Dragon Force, along with
Dude, awesome.
some of Clayman's forces. I mean, what did you think about that whole? Why don't we like isolate that battle? Because obviously we do know about like Rimuru was teleporting all of Carrion's people away so that they could do this big battle. But what did you guys think about when they actually got into battle between Benimaru's forces and I can't remember the monk's name, but those
like
forces,
Lord, blah blah blah.
Yeah, Dragon forces.
The Dragon Force, go!
Sorry, I had a good
form of T-Rex. Okay, anyway. Yeah. I thought it was really cool. Sorry, we had like some static noise for a second.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was really awesome. It wasn't my favorite fight though. It was really cool because I like how honorable the monk guy fought. I think my favorite fight was the undead fight because that was hilarious and amazing. But this fight itself was really cool about basically like people making sure each other is honored, and like they're like the monk guy was basically going, okay, I'll fight you. Yeah, I'll fight you. Like, I know I'm way stronger than you, but let's have a good fight. Like, there's no problem with it. Yeah. Besides that, the necromancer one just sticks out too much in my brain, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, honestly, the necromancer one is the one I remember the most. That was just a fun one. I mean, I'm trying to remember specifics in it, to be honest, and I just know it was good, and I thought it was funny that I don't remember his name, but that necromancer guy was he just decided to change sides, and just let's add more to Rimuru's forces because he doesn't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the one-on-one fights were cool. I think they kind of showed themselves off more towards Walpurgis, but the whole necromancer issue was like basically how Rimuru's gotten through most of his issues, where he's like, oh, you're my problem, okay, let's battle, okay, I won but I didn't kill you, and then it's like, well, you're a pretty stand-up slime, I guess I'll work for you, that sounds pretty cool.
You spared me. Awesome. Let me join up with you.
Yeah. And I love how they were all like, Lord Slime, you're a new god. We love you. Please tell me about the slime that you work for. I'll work for him.
Praise Slime.
Yeah, dude. Actually, watching not Shion. What's the priest's name?
I guess Shuna.
Yeah, something like that.
I want to say it's like Shuna.
Shuna, dude. Watching her just like pull off the Goku weights and just like go, I'm ready. And just every single thing this guy tried to do was like, nah, I buried you. You can't leave. And he's like, oh, this is good for me. And then she's like, no, it's not.
I was not expecting that. I don't know if they showed that earlier in the series, but I totally didn't remember that she was this crazy priestess. And I was like, oh my God, this is all crazy.
The only thing she's done is put barriers up. Like, I think that's like most of we've seen. And it's really good to see her just let loose. So
that was fun.
I think that was my highlight of like when they were taking out Clayman's forces, and they did it so surgically. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I liked the Benny Maru fight a little bit more. Only for one reason. There was this moment that Gopta has, who's that little goblin, and he came in to stop a sneak attack that was happening against, I don't remember her name, but she's this giant snake lady, part of the Beast Forces, and she's fighting this guy with like this ice sword. And Gopta was hiding in her shadow the entire time, and like stops this surprise attack, and he actually holds his own to the point where the guy's like, "What the fuck? Can everybody just hold their own against me? What the fuck is going on here? I have a magic sword. What is going on?" And this little like goblin guy's like, "All right, that's enough for me. Take care of the rest." And he just like dips, and I was like, "Wow, dude, that's how." Because
pretty good.
Because you know when we talk about like Benny Maru, obviously he took out that reincarnate or that like kind of reborn Carbitus or whatever the hell they call that giant like crazy demon thing, and you know took it out pretty easily. But when you see like the weakest, well, he's supposedly the weakest out of pretty much all the famous people.
He's just one of the goblins.
Yeah. So seeing him get his time, and it's like, oh, so this is how freaking strong this guy is, because that's one of like what do they call him, like Clayman's fingers, I guess, or whatever they call him. So seeing him take him on, and actually probably could have done a lot more, was actually really cool, because obviously we did just see everybody just get wrecked in the first part of the season. So, but yeah, I did like the necromancer part, seeing Shuna get her time, because you know if we remember right, they were originally going to just fight with the older gentleman and the ninja, and then she ended up inserting herself like, you know, I'll go in there, almost like she knew there was gonna be an undead person there, but almost like plot demanded it. But yeah, it was cool to see that whole thing unfold, because kind of like you said, Michael, where it's just like, oh, we're gonna fight this person. There's no way that they'll just join my army by some haphazard chance, which you know is it's cool to see how big Rimuru's getting. Which well, speaking of which, I mean, did you guys want to talk about any more of the necromancer? I think it was just the necromancer battle and the Benny Maru battle, right? Was there?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember there was another one.
I think there was some smaller things sprinkled throughout, but nothing important. I did want to say the whole thing with Gopta is like actually great, because it really shows off what Dragon Ball Z has not done well, which is like power leveling. And what's it called? Like when you overpower level something. I don't remember. Basically, like a lot of anime has issues with making sure that power levels between all their characters can ramp up at a steady pace, instead of just going, okay, now we're up here, okay, now we're all the way up there, and like now we're blowing up worlds, now we're blowing up universes. What's after that? I don't know. But this is really good, because it's showing the level from the weakest to the strongest characters and what they can do, and slowly advancing them. Now what's going to be scary is like, okay, what's in the future? Like, what else can they do? Which I'm actually glad they slightly answered that in this season. So yeah, I think we can move on.
Yeah. I think there was one. So you know, like Michael was saying, we kind of go from the weakest to the strongest. Benny Maru is I think he's pretty much. We can all agree. I think he's the second strongest to Rimuru or Diablo. I don't know. He's very strange. I don't know.
Oh, dude,
I don't know about him. He's really weird. So
Lucky.
He could be. So
you're pulling out my teeth, because that's the one thing that we didn't see that I want to see. Like I'm like, dude, what can Diablo do? Because as we learn later, there's another guy who's called like the Lord of Darkness, and then Diablo's like the primordial evil. So I'm like, what do all these words mean in this show? Like, is the Lord of Darkness like Satan who turned into a demon? Like, what is this? Like, I just want to see Diablo go off at some point. And not the Diablo from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Yeah.
We'd like to see that too when it comes back out. Yeah, and also we know Diablo has history with Shizue, right? Like the woman that Rimuru ate to get his form. We saw that at the very end of the first season, and it's weird how he got introduced, and then it was like, okay, you're not gonna see this guy till like season 2 part 2, like part 1. It's like, whoa, that's some crazy build up to that. Obviously we
Even
know
then.
that. Yeah, true. It was interesting though, like to see that he's going to be escorting the new king. Like I said, I really can't remember his name because he comes in and out of the series so often. Like last part of the series, he was just like he was a love interest for that Majin girl, and I was kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, and now I'm gonna be the freaking king of a whole kingdom. Oh yeah, no big deal. So yeah, so it'll be cool to see what Diablo can do because it seems like Rimuru is putting a lot of trust in Diablo since he's the only one that's going to be there. But yeah, going off
Still
of
don't
that,
know who this guy is. Still
Yeah.
don't know who he is.
yeah, exactly. So I also what is his, because he says he's there for Rimuru. I have a feeling there's something else to Diablo that that I think there's something more nefarious about him. But we'll see as the series goes on.
Yeah.
Why don't we get into Walpurgis itself, because that was obviously we know Milim is under control from Clayman, and we go into this big Walpurgis there. We got people like Leon Cromwell there, who was the person who summoned Shizue to whatever land this is. I forgot what the land is called, but yeah, we have a
The
big
land of
ass
Tempest.
table. We got a lot of things going on. We got battles that go into. I mean, what did you guys think of Walpurgis as a whole? Because there's a lot to cover.
Tell me your thoughts, Johnny.
It's a pretty awesome meeting room, to say the least.
It looks good. Dude, how malleable it is.
Yeah, I mean, I kept thinking like, oh my god, someone just broke the table. Oh no, it's fine. They just made a new one. All right. Oh, I broke it in half. No, the table just does that. It's a great table, and the whole space is insane.
It's like a pocket dimension that they could just play with.
And it's space out there too.
Yeah.
Just go in there and just kind of just lay down on the table and look up. That's it. That's all I need for.
Yeah.
Give me 45
absolutely.
minutes. No.
I mean, the introduction to everybody where they quit, our subtitles were broken. And the previous episode, we had the subtitles of everybody like flash to pass.
Just started saying names for no reason.
Yeah, we're like, what's going on? And then the next episode happened. We're like, oh, okay, we get it. Going into everybody again, seeing all their names flash by. It just leads to more questions like who's the giant guy and who's all these demon lords we really haven't gone into. Because they must be important for some reason. And who's this red guy who had the white dragon with him? Like, what's he all about? Because he seems kind of nefarious too. Like, he might have some kind of underlying plot. But really seeing the power in that room together, and almost like at that point you can almost see how Clayman didn't fit in already. Like you got a strong implication that Clayman was not a real demon lord at that point. And they said it a couple times throughout the series, like that he hadn't awakened yet, but it was very apparent, like going like, look at all these amazing people. And then there's you who's trying to manipulate your way into this, like destroying Tempest and like owning the world and destroying people. But you can't do it at a brute force, which it seemed like all of these demon lords could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it really left a big, strong impression when we walked in that room, and it was like, where are we right now? And all of the attendance and everything that was going on. Yeah. Any more thoughts?
Hokage Summit. No.
Yeah, it was. I mean, no, you're right though. It was totally that. I mean, I feel like all of these people were maybe a tad more powerful than a Hokage, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Lucky, you have any thoughts about like the intro to Walpurgis?
Well, I really liked it. I really liked the because it really is just people like a pissing contest for the most part, right? It's just like everybody going there, dropping their nuts on the table and being like, "Whose is bigger?" So it is cool. It's also cool to see that there is like a noticeable difference between, because when you think of Demon Lord, you think of everybody being on the same level. Because that's all we've known, right? Like, oh, once you're a demon lord, I mean, you're the the cream of the crop. But then once you get to the cream of the crop, then there's some that have gone even higher than the cream of the crop, and you kind of get that idea from people like the red-haired guy Crimson.
Oh yeah, that's
Who,
his name.
yeah. By the way, I feel like they got that from Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear. I can't remember which one it is. There's a guy named in there named Bad. I think his name is like Soul Bad Guy, and he looks a lot like Guy Crimson. So I don't know if there's like a reference there, but it was cool to see that there's like some that are like the oldest demon lords, so they get like they get a higher status and stuff. But also,
Yeah.
Guy Crimson kind of weirds me out because he's like. No offense to like any trans people out there, but he kind of was like, "Hey, Leon, you want to fuck me as a girl? Huh? You want to do that shit?" Because I was like, what the fuck is going on?" And let me see how realistic it is. I was like,
dude, Lucky said anybody, like a guy or a girl, who's just like comes up to you, is like, "Hey, in like 2 seconds, I could become the other gender, and then like we could sleep together, or you can sleep with me now." Like, what's that's not a normal world thing that you could really come into contact with.
yeah. So it threw me off when yeah, exactly. It threw me off when I first saw that.
Like, I'll be a squid.
Yeah, dude, I fucking got you. Yeah, it's
kid. No, you can't say that, Johnny. You're just a squid. You can't be a kid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, canceled, bro. Canceled.
Johnny,
so,
you're
no. So when we get now, I think we've kind of talked. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if you guys were surprised by the person in the mask. There was a person in the mask that it's like, hey, is that we all? I feel like we all kind of knew that was going to be Carrion, the Beast Demon Lord, who wasn't dead. I feel like we all kind of saw that coming as it. Like when I first saw that guy in the mask, I was like, "Oh, that's probably Carrion," because why the fuck would he be dead? So
who's this weird man with a lion mask on his head? It was like there's really nobody else that could be.
Yeah, it was not too surprising. But what did you think about when we actually got into the battle? Right, as we alluded to before, this table just comes apart. Also, Guy can just create a freaking barrier that can stop demon lords from getting out. That's pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said it already. It was like there's not a level like for demon lord. It's like you get the demon lord and you just keep working up.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So, what did you guys think of the actual battle itself? Between we had Rimuru versus Clayman, and then also Shion enters the battle, kind of going against Clayman, which is pretty crazy. But then we also got some other people enter the fray as well.
Dude, actually, that made me laugh because he's like. Guy Crimson was like, here's a barrier that'll stop demon lords, and it legitimately was. And then there's Clayman who's like, I've got a mind control thing that can take demon lords, and it didn't work on anybody, like literally nobody. Like, you're lame and you're terrible. And that just made me it just seemed like the epitome of this guy's life was this battle, and it just went wrong. Like everything he tried to do was terrible. I mean, just think about it, like, and we got Johnny here, this big guy, and then you see like just someone who's like 5 foot nothing just comes up to you and just chops your arm off with their hand, and you're just like, what happened? And then they just like flick you and you fly across the room. You're like, whoa!
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, and it's just like how crushed this man must have felt like within the first 5 minutes of this battle. I think when like Reimer, who cut off his arms like immediately? Was that Shion?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, was she just like the was that the companion to a guy you thought you were gonna fight slices off your arms? Like, what an insult to injury that he was so like bravos. He had such bravado going into this, just going like, oh, I'm going to win. It's going to be so easy. I've got Malim on my side. I've got like, he was so ready. And then immediately the heartbeat lady was like, nah, I'm not fighting. Like, that's dumb. And he's like, well, I guess I got Malim. And then like, we know what happens with that. It was just really funny to watch how that battle went. It was really good. Yeah, Johnny.
I thought it was a little short, to be honest, if we're just the entire battle. The first half of it I thought was really cool and pretty awesome because, like you said, we get to see Shion kick major ass. We get to see another character that I had totally forgotten about, this crazy she's like the fairy's companion, and Rimuru created her or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, she's basically like a
No,
golem that he
the
created
rat-
for Rimarice.
Well, she's crazy too. She walks in, and she just takes that one
fights
thing
the
apart.
other robot. Yeah,
Like I was like, oh my god, she just murdered him. Oh my god. But yeah, I think my only problem with it is I expected like there was going to be another episode. I wanted more. I don't know. I thought he was going to like do something, but then it was like, hey, I think he's going to run. Yeah, I know. I was like, oh man, okay. I guess we're going to cut it short there and bring it down. But that's fine. It was still fun for the first half. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted a bit more from the second half of the fight.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, the lead up would have been nice. Like maybe more. What was weird is like the beginning where Malim was fighting Rimuru. Like, it makes me worried if they like had a serious fight because, like, Malim like scraped Rimuru's face and there was like a bunch of slime underneath there, and it was like. So there's really nothing you can do, Rimuru. Like, I know you're not trying to kill Malim, but like you've got nothing in your arsenal that can help you defend a little bit more or like play with Malim or something. I mean, we'll get into that in the second half of the fight, but it was just like I thought Rimuru could have done a little bit more to Malim, but Malim's also like one of the stronger demon lords, being also a dragon. So
I think there's something there. I mean, I do wonder if it's like it's the lack of killing intent kind of thing.
Yeah, that was like, you're my friend and I don't want to kill you. But like, Lucky, dude, is there anything you wanted to say before we get to the second part of the fight? Because I'm about to jump right into it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right though. I don't know if you guys remember the very first OP for Slime, and he's fighting. I can't remember who it was that he was fighting, but he does this thing where he turns back into a slime, turns back into a human, and I was like, couldn't you just do that like a lot, like just spam the shit out of it? Because I don't know if you remember this. There was back in the day, I think it was like Soul Calibur 4, and they had like guest characters for the first time, and one of them was Yoda, and I used to pick him because he was so small that nobody could hit him. So he would just be, I just jump up and smack people, and they'd be like only be able to like kick me, and that was kind of it. But I just jump up. I feel like he could have spammed turning into a slime a lot more, and I feel like there was a lot more that he could have gone into to kind of help him out there. But I can also understand that they probably don't want to show Rimuru that OP like right now. Or else it would be like.
I mean, they already showed it a little bit in this fight too.
Yeah. So I think they wanted to like save that a little bit. So why don't we get into the second part of this where we enter Veldora comes in. Like at the clutches of time. I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't exactly expecting him to enter like that. But it was really cool.
There.
And then just to kind of see what happens next. So what did you guys think of the second half of the battle?
Dude. It was
good. That Veldora part was hilarious. I don't know. That really makes me wonder because I mean, I don't know. Is that the barrier that was around there? It was like nobody can go in unless I say so. That was that guy's barrier, right? I mean, that wasn't like a Walpurgis plate thing.
No, that was that guy's barrier.
So does that mean Veldora just is stronger?
Well, that's
he was just like, whatever.
That's the thing. Dragons in this world are supposed to be really powerful, like really strong. And we still don't know how powerful Veldora is in his new form. But I mean, Guy Crimson is also paired off with a dragon.
That's apparently his sister or something like that. Veldora's sister. So
I mean, also, what Veldora is the uncle to Malim, right?
I guess so, because I think when she got her powers, I think that dragon that
like his brother's daughter.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm liking finding out like they're all dragons, so it's like there can't possibly be an infinite amount of dragons where they're not related. So
yeah,
this is really cool, and it really shows how strong Veldora is. That's like, dragons are just on another level, like over here and higher than demon lords. Because watching him play around with Malim was really funny. But I really wish we could have seen a little bit more of that battle. Because it was like, Rimuru, do you just really suck against Veldora? Like, or like not even we're close to as strong as him?
Yeah.
He just must respect you a lot, which I guess, did get him out of a 1,000-year-old prison.
Nah, dude, he does it for the manga, dude. He does it for the manga.
That might be true, actually.
Hey, you keep me entertained with reading.
Dude, I was gonna say, what happens when he runs out of manga, dude? He's gonna be so fucked. He's gonna have to like write it, become his own manga person. He's gonna have to become Oda.
Wasn't there a thing where like Reamer like can remember all the manga that he's ever read, right?
Yeah, but I wonder how. I mean, granted, he was. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was a shut-in, so maybe there was a lot of it. But I
Like
mean,
a salaried
But no, I
shut-in.
agree. He's got to run out
Yeah.
at some point.
yeah, exactly.
But does he? No, then he just starts turning anime that he's seen into manga.
Oh,
But that's probably already manga though that he's already read.
You know what? That's true. I think at that point he's gonna have made so much manga that I don't think it'll matter.
nice. Yeah, that'd be interesting. And then also we have
Or
the other person
hire
too.
somebody to make manga.
I was gonna say. I mean, I just don't know how they would. But yeah, make it.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude. So I mean,
And
there
soon
was
Tempest
the
will be Japan.
there was the other parts of this where Ragna is fighting the Fox duo or the Fox trio. I don't remember how much
that
it
was adorable.
but
by
it
the
was
way.
cool to see that. I mean, it goes. We figure out that they're another slaves of Clayman. Clayman has a pretty strict hold on everybody. I forgot to mention, but the guy with the ice sword was an example of that, where he ends up getting killed off by Clayman. Well, what did you guys think of the final, like the mid to final part of this? Obviously, we just talked about Veldora versus Milim, so there's not too much to talk about there. But
With the transformation.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Weirdly, it looked great, but seeing how shut down Clayman was, it was underwhelming. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Maybe, and that's might be why I was like, I don't feel like I got enough out of the second half, because yeah, I feel like they made so much of it and such a big deal, and he had all these crazy arms and things, and then it was like, no, he's just dead.
Yeah, and that line. Well, like you were like that line he says at the end of that was like, "That was my ultimate attack," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude." Rimuru didn't even need to do anything.
Okay, that was actually pretty funny.
Rimuru just
That's mine.
like that's what I've always relied on Slime for. Is it's never been like it's got some cool action scenes and animation, but it's always been a good comedy, and always been able to like it. Any serious note is usually followed up with a one-liner or a good joke. Besides the first half of the season,
I kind of get
Part
torn
one.
whenever you just see them talking, and it's like anime, and then Rimuru's like, "Hey, what's up, my dude?" And I'm like, "What? All right,
Dude,
just change that. That's fine."
that's why I'm like, dude, the dub is so funny because the localization
True,
is
that is the dub,
silly.
not the-
It's
Oh yeah.
silly.
By the way, is Hercule still doing Veldora's voice?
Absolutely, my
Oh,
guy.
I was gonna say, dude,
Absolutely.
that was actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to watch the dub, but I had no patience for it. Or I had no patience for it to come out, so I was like, "Oh, dude, I
I think it's 1 week behind.
Oh yeah. I think it might have been even longer than that because I remember it took a little while to get out. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Veldora, dude, when I heard Veldora's voice, I was like, bro, they got Hercule as this character, and we didn't see him for so long, and then when he came
So
back,
funny.
I was like, it's Hercule, bitch, it's fucking
Yeah.
Hercule, man. And
Yeah.
so I mean, maybe we should talk about obviously. I agree with you guys. I think it was a little underwhelming the way that Clayman went because he was basically one of the big bads. I mean, him and Leon were kind of sharing the big bad status for a little while. But Clayman was kind of just unceremoniously just like, hey, I'm the person that's going to show how strong Rimuru is right now, and he's pretty strong. So there is that. Now we do get a glance at who maybe the big bad guys are, or I mean, maybe Leon will end up being the big bad guy, but we also got to see how strong the Harlequin Alliance is.
Weird clown people.
Yeah, weird clown, insane clown posse. It was crazy, dude. So
bunch of juggalos.
we got to see them take care of. I think it was the vampire dude, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember off the top.
It was
Dino
what's
or
her name?
something?
Luminous.
Oh, Luminous. Okay.
Luminous is like assistant.
Yeah.
The stand-in.
Yeah,
for her.
I thought his name was Dino, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But
Oh yeah, it was Dino.
Okay. So yeah, because we first
Oh wait,
saw.
no, that was the sleepy guy. Dino was the sleepy.
Oh,
guy.
is he? Okay, so random Dante, maybe? I don't know. I feel like it's like something like with a D, but anyway,
Dante, the demon hunter.
exactly.
What was it?
There we go. Devil May Cry,
Where's
bro.
the red coat?
Devil May Cry, baby. So we got to see him getting taken care of pretty handily, which they had made a pretty big deal. Well, he was kind of subbing in for one of the demon lords as like a fake demon lord for a little bit. But we got to see him get fucking bodied by I think it was Footman, the big guy that took care of him, or was it the Lapid?
No.
Lapaz?
It was
Laplace.
the one that can. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was the smaller one.
Yeah.
The
So
one that can like die and resurrect.
Yeah, so it was interesting to see, like, I like how he's just like, hey, I'm actually really fucking strong, and I'm gonna like use this for plot reasons, you know. He's kind of just was like that, but we also get to see
Yeah.
that Clayman was kind of the puppet for them the whole time. So, what do you guys think is the future of this insane clown posse or the Harlequin Alliance?
It was adorable to see that they actually cared for Clayman. Like that was cool.
Yeah,
Like you don't see that in bad guys a lot. Like where they're like we told you to not like Clayman, you were brash and you reacted too fast, but you know, we still cared about you. Dude, I really don't like I don't know if like the clown posse is working with this guy who's supposed to be like another reincarnated like demon or something.
You
It's
talking
not
about the one that
Karen.
they're talking about the one that's writing all the manga right now, or are you talking about a different dude?
No. Wait, is what? The guy with black hair that looks just like a regular old high school student.
Yeah, so we had oh man, we had they talked about this way too early on. But yeah, he is from Japan. I can't remember. We met him, and he seemed like he was an okay guy. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm actually pulling the strings behind a lot of this bullshit. So fuck you, man.
Yeah, but they also said he was like somebody over there was like a reincarnated other
Mm-hmm.
demon lord, and I don't know.
Okay.
I was like, it's kind of hard to keep track of this external stuff because they've dabbled on it, but like most of this season was about claiming. So I'm hoping that in at least the next season they start explaining some of this other stuff because they I don't know if there was another reincarnated person in season 1. Can you guys remember that?
I think that's actually when we met this particular guy was in around season 1 because he was actually able to like write a lot of this manga stuff, and so he was like he was the one writing it, and we met him around the time that that Rimuru started teaching at the school or was like introduced to the school by Shizue, but it's really weird when he came back. I was like. It was kind of like what you were talking about, Michael, where everybody was in the group meeting, and you're like, I think I kind of remember this person. That's how I felt with this dude. I was like, oh, this guy actually had like a bigger freaking part. I wish I would have paid attention to it because it seemed like he was just kind of like this nice guy on the side that Rimuru had some like connections with in terms of manga and stuff. But yeah, apparently they got a lot more in common than I thought. So
yeah, Johnny, do you have any theory crafting for the future?
Honestly, I have no idea. That really threw me off seeing that clown kill the vampire guy. I was like, I really just wasn't expecting it at all. And I've just so many mysteries about this scary clown. And I mean, yeah, if he took on that dude, which he was supposed to be a demon lord, right? I mean, even if it was a stand-up, I thought he was at least
No. He was a
powerful
stand-in
vampire.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a stand-in. The actual demon lord was the queen of vampires.
I mean, that still seems difficult to kill a vampire, and especially one that a demon lord trusts. So I don't know. I don't know who this clown is, but he scares me.
Yeah, it's really up in the air. I can't make any good educated guesses on it.
yeah.
You got some crazy theory for us?
Nah, you know what? I was trying to remember this idea of. Have you guys ever heard of Laplace's demon? Like, I feel like that's where the idea of the name comes from. But it was like this weird. Dude, I heard about it on Joe Rogan, and I was like, and it was like this. What is it? Like a physicist or something like that, trying to explain what the fuck it was. But it's one of those like thinking problems or whatever, and it's just such a weird problem that I don't even think I could actually like explain it very well. But yeah, anyway, I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it. So maybe I'll do some digging into that eventually. But yeah, I'm thinking that these clown people are yet another part of the either like the puppets or they're part of like a bigger ring, and somebody else is part of that bigger ring that could do something. I don't really know because I really do think that Leon Cromwell is going to end up being the big bad, or Rimuru is going to come to terms with him being who he is. So, yeah, I think that was everything for the most part. Are we forgetting anything in terms of? We already talked about wall purchase and all that good stuff. And then obviously the bad guys. So, was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
Anything else that happened in that last episode? That was basically it, right?
I mean, I'm happy. Harpy Lady is going to be happy with Malene.
Oh, that's right, Frey. That's right, Frey. Frey ended up.
Good for them.
And Carrion,
Yeah.
both of them like started working.
Oh yeah,
that was a really adorable moment, like where Malene was like, "I'm not being controlled. I just did all this on my own," and then fast forward to the after the fight was over, and then everybody was like, the two of them were like, "No, we're working for Malim now." Like Malim was like, that doesn't flow with me. And then everybody was like, "Malim, you now finally have to get your territory under control." And I'm sure we're gonna see that monk guy again, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yes, Miss Malim,
Yeah, right.
Like we went through so many troubles," and they actually are gonna get orders, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I felt like a little bit of like One Piece, like when during the Dressrosa arc. I don't want to exactly say what it is because obviously there's some spoilers there. But Luffy also had a moment like this where he's like, "What the hell? Why are you guys trying to follow me? You know, get away from me." But yeah, we won't go into that. But yeah, I think also there was oh man, I felt like there was something else that had to be addressed. But I can't really remember right now.
Fairy lady's gonna live in Tempest.
Yeah, there was that too. God,
now people know Valdora exists, but I want to see Valdora meet his sister because I'm like, there's something going. I want to see like her reaction to him having a body. Trying to imagine, was there anything else that was in there?
Oh man, dude, I had something. So what do you guys think about the future of Hinata? So she is the girl that kind of wrecked Rimuru when they first fought. And we know that she's like a disciple of Shizue or something like that. Like but she's also Japanese, I guess. So they kind of relied on each other. What do you think that she's gonna have like a bigger future in there? Because obviously Rimuru like took out a bunch of people from the Holy Church. She is a monster hunter. And how do you think she compares to a demon lord? Obviously, she did pretty well against Rimuru and is in that state. I think he was in a weakened state too. But what do you think about her future?
In pre-demon lord state.
Yeah, pre-demon lord state. But even then, I think he was weakened for some reason. I can't remember off the top of my head why he was weakened. But
well, he was in like that anti-magic barrier. Right?
That's right. That's what it was. So yeah.
Yeah. And even then, he did some crazy stuff. See, that's the thing is like there was so much like stacked against him right then that I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, if they meet again, I feel like Rimuru could wreck her. I think she's more gonna act as what Shizue is that what?
Yeah, Shizue. Yeah.
I think she's gonna act as that, like the stand-in for what that character would have been.
Okay. What do you think, Johnny?
Man, I don't know. I mean, she's definitely an obstacle right now for everyone.
The church.
I mean, if we follow the pattern of the show, I mean, it's only a matter of time before she switches sides and joins Rimuru.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Looking
too.
forward to that. No.
Where's Rimuru's slime wife? That's what I'm wondering. Come on.
Oh, you think he's gonna
ate her?
Damn, no. Dude. Because I was just thinking like maybe Hinata ends up getting seduced or like getting tricked by Leon Cromwell, so then she starts working for him. That would be an interesting plot point. I just like her as a character, so I really want to see more of her. Just because we haven't seen too many of these holy people. I mean, we just started seeing it in the necromancy fight, right? So that was kind of where I first started seeing like the priestess.
And the clown was scared of her too. So I mean, like she's significantly powerful.
Yeah, I would wonder if maybe she has like the kryptonite to all these people. Maybe she might be the key to it, but who knows? I think that was pretty much everything.
Power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, dude. Maybe she got the power of Christ. Holy crap, dude. That'd be pretty cool.
But yeah,
dude. So let us know what you guys think. Remember, you can check out All Things Casual at the link tree in the description box down below. Also, you can email us at animecasuals with an S, real, REAL, at gmail.com if you guys want to let us know what you guys thought of Slime. Obviously, there was a lot there. But as always, guys, don't forget to keep...
Casual.
The fuck was that?